Another checklist. Oh wow, another one there with another grace, that row 1. Welcome back to the most passionate program for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the entire internet. I'm your host, Jake Roy, 90s Bball Cards. Today, I am extremely excited for this. We have a product, and it is none other than Flair Showcase from 1997-98. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's get right into it. Today, like I said, we have 1997-98 Flair Showcase. So I showed you the box. This is actually a box that I opened with my brothers and my father when I was younger, and I kept it around because these are just such beautiful cards. But today what we're opening, we've got some packs. So the packs that we have, they're all hobby packs because the only thing that Flair Showcase was in was hobby stores. So you're not going to find any retail packs of Flair Showcase, and that's because it was an extremely premium product. I mean, let's just admire the beauty of just an empty box. These things were beautiful. I mean, they have a crushed velvet lining on the interior. This was like really the top thing that Flair had at that point in time in the 90s. And no expense was spared. These cards are beautiful. I mean, if you can think of a luxurious, just an elegant card, that's what Flair Showcase really is. It's a showpiece. It's an artistic marvel to me anyway. These were cards that when I saw the box just on a shelf of my hobby shop when I was a kid, I was awestruck. I had to know what was inside. And it really was a pretty confusing product, actually, and we'll get into some of the reason why. But my hobby shop owner was actually trying to explain and educate my father and my brothers and I as to what the product was. And even without fully understanding what exactly we were looking at, we could tell it was something special and something to treasure. So we got some packs and we busted into them, and then later on down the road, my father was so enamored with the product, he got us 2 boxes, and we had phenomenal fun, and really, we did pretty well. I know some friends like Michael Moeller out there, he's opened tons of these boxes, and he had one hot box where he just had phenomenal pulls. And unfortunately, my box wasn't quite as great as his, but still, my box was pretty good, and hopefully we can see some replicated good luck in the product today. So without any further ado, let's get into some of the PC and some of the fire that we could see in this product, and then get right into it. Here we've got some PC items and some of the items that we could see in these packs today. And like I said at the beginning, this product at the time anyway was a little bit confusing to a lot of hobbyists, myself included. And one of the reasons why, so the way that they broke these down were not only by the designs that you can see on the front, which were parallels, they also had the legacy parallels, and they further broke down those by what they called the design on the back, which there are 4 different designations, which we'll get into. But each one of those each one of those designs on the back had their own tier of odds within the front design. I know. It's already confusing just saying it out loud. So what we'll do is we'll just go through the odds and we'll kind of talk it through a little bit each step of the way. So the first thing here, these are the base cards. So these are today what we consider called row 3. And the way that you know that this is a row 3 and the other subsequent rows in the rest of these cards is on the back. If you flip it over, you'll see at the top left-hand corner on this penny, there's something that says SEC, which means Section 2. You can just kind of ignore that in all honesty. Then you see it says row 3, and then below it, seat 11. So that number 11 is the number card that it is in the set if you're looking at a checklist. And that row is what denotes the parallel or the level of the card. So row 3 was the base level, and then it went down from there in descending order. So row 0 being the most rare. So these, and you could also see that the front design, like I said, each have their own name. So these base cards were called Flair. So you'll see under the Flair Showcase, it says Flair. And we're just getting started. So each one of these base cards, you would think that there were no odds on these, but there are. They had tiered odds, and like I said, based on the way that you see on the back, You see at the bottom, this says Showtime. So the Showtime cards had their own odds. This one was about 1 per pack, which you would expect it would be more than that because there's 5 cards in a pack. But each tier had different groups of players. Some had rookies, some had bigger stars. So the first group of players were really numbers 1 through 20, which had a lot of the bigger stars, Jordan being number 1 in the set. But Penny was in there, Tim Duncan being the top rookie, Kobe, a lot of those guys. So these cards, like this Penny, you can typically pick this up for about $1 or $2. It's not the most valuable card in the world, but it being just a base card of Penny, $1's, not too bad. The Kobe is about a $5 card for the base. The Tim Duncan, which is his rookie and one of his higher end rookie cards for a base card, is about a $10 card when it's in good shape. They're not terribly hard to find, but they are definitely very collectible, and people like to have multiples. And then really the cream of the crop here is the first card in the set, like I said, that Jordan. Now, the Jordan for years and years has been selling pretty steadily for about $10 a pop. And in the last couple of months, with the Last Dance documentary and such coming up, those cards really took a meteoric rise. So today they've settled in at about $20 a piece. Sometimes you can get them for about $15, but at one point they were even selling as high as $30, which for a base card is pretty considerable. But it's a really cool Jordan card. I love the design of it, but I also love that Jordan because it's got a great picture of him in the background and a great picture of him with his fadeaway, and prominently featuring those great Jordan shoes of his from that were also featured in He Got Game, the movie. So, a really cool card. Would love to get that. Would love to get any stars, but, really kind of an interesting thing there that they have different odds for each of the tiers in just the base set. And then we go up from there. So next up we have what is called now the Row 2 or Style. So we've got a Penny, and then we've also got a Kobe here. So you can see that front now you've got a little bit more of a darker background. You've got, instead of the silvered out background, you've got actually the background of the game or the arena or wherever they're playing, which, kind of adds a little bit more setting to the picture in the foreground. And I really love this design. This is actually probably my favorite design of these lower tiers. And, a lot of the cards have some pretty cool action shots, which I always enjoy. Actually, the Jordan of this, I don't really like the picture, interestingly enough. But, so these ones, again, like I said, the style, so you can see that denoted right underneath that Flair Showcase logo. And then, again, you flip it over on the back, and these happen to both be called the Showstopper, that design on the back. So these have their own tier of odds within the style, but overall odds for style cards are about 1 in 3 packs. So you can see that these aren't the rarest cards, and the prices kind of show that. So, looking at a Penny, you're probably looking at about a $2 to $5 card. Sometimes they can even sell for the same price as the base, but usually you're going to have a little bit of a higher price because it is a little bit harder to find. And then, the Jordan, like I said, is not my favorite looking card in the world, but that's about a $15 card. So it hovers right around or below the base card. So, and I'm sorry, the Tim Duncan is about a $10 card, like the base. So a little bit lower there. But those are pretty cool. I like those designs, and because I like those, you can get them for a little bit cheaper typically than some of the other stuff that we're going to go into. So the next is Row 1, and we have a Penny, and we have a Tracy McGrady, and these are also called Grace. So you see that denoted right under the Flair Showcase. So the overall odds on the Row 1 cards are approximately 1 in 14 packs. So relatively rare. If you're looking at a get in a box, you're probably going to pull 1 or 2 of these Grace parallels. And, these are pretty eye-catching designs. I always thought they were a little bit busy, but I'm definitely in the minority. I remember when I had a box with my brother, him being a Jordan fan, we pulled the Jordan. He was beside himself, still has that card to this day. And it is a really cool card. I happen to like the style a little bit more, but this design has definitely grown on me, and we've seen this design, kind of that reflective pattern in some other products since then. So, like I said, with the designs on the back here, you see that we've got 2 different ones this time. So the Penny here, we've got the Showdown, and then for the T-Mac, we've got the Showpiece. So, again, these each had their own odds. We're not going to get into the details on that, but about 1 in 14 for these. And again, looking at the values on different cards in this. For something like the Duncan, that's the one that's about $25. The Kobe is about $20 to $25 as well. The Penny is about a $5 card, not terribly expensive, even though it is pretty cool looking. And the Jordan is considerably more if it's in good shape, but $50 is about where I would guesstimate that those typically go for this level 1. So pretty cool looking cards. Would love to see us get one of those of a Star or Tim Duncan rookie would be great as well. So next, one of my favorite designs, and these are pretty rare as well, we have the Row Zero or the Showcase. So these were really the top of the line when it came to these cards. You see you've got that reflective pattern on there that's kind of like the Mojo from Panini today. And these were each serial numbered, so these have not odds, but serial numbers that are, again, tiered. So the 3 tiers, the top group being the one with Penny and Jordan and stuff was the rarest. So that group is serial numbered to 250. The next tier is serial numbered to 500. The third tier, which this Horace Grant happens to sit in, is numbered to 1,000. And then the final 4th tier is numbered to 2,000. So, you know, those are pretty rare cards to find. And this Horace Grant, interestingly enough, so if you look on the back, that is called the Showstopper, which we saw on some of the backs before. But for this one, this is the 3rd tier. That's numbered to 1,000. This one is numbered 1,000 out of 1,000, which is something I always thought was cool with this. So, you know, that's the last one, theoretically, that was printed. And I always like seeing something that's kind of towards the end of the print run or the beginning of the print run. I always think those are cool. Obviously, jersey numbers are cool and serial numbers as well. But typically pretty hard to find. So, you know, this is just a gorgeous design, and the Penny being numbered 250 is one that I just have not been able to get into my collection. Not too many of those to go around. So hopefully one day I'll be able to get one. But looking at values for these, you know, these definitely take a significant hike in value. So some of the top players, the Penny, it's about a $150 card roughly when it comes up. And then looking at something like the Duncan rookie, that's about a $300 card here. And then the Kobe definitely takes quite a bump up at about $500 the last time I saw it sell. I think that's a little bit high considering what we see the other things, but you know, prices are going through the roof right now, so quoting a price is kind of difficult to do on a lot of these cards. And then a Jordan, there's actually not a lot of these that have sold for Jordan recently, but the last one that sold was actually graded, so trying to get ascertain a real value is difficult, but I would estimate about $2,000 for the Jordan. You know, that's an estimate, but who knows what would happen if that came up again. That's a Jordan that's numbered 250, so pretty hard to find those as well. Now getting up into some of the other things that are very collectible in this set. So we've got the Legacy Collection. So here we have a Damon Stoudemire and an Antonio McDyess, and these are each numbered to 100, regardless of tiers, regardless of the style on the front. Every Legacy card in Flair Showcase is numbered to 100 from 97-98. So, you know, this year it was the second year that they had the Legacy cards. And this was a little bit rarer because the year before they were numbered to 150 each. So these ones are significantly more collectible, significantly more valuable. And these are actually 2, like I said, that were pulled in that box that I got with my father and my brother. So both of these were in that one box, so it was a phenomenal box. To get 2 legacies. Obviously, we were hoping that they could have been players that we were collecting, but at that point in time, these were both guys that were kind of fighting to get on the All-Star team each year, so definitely good players to pull. Today, they're definitely common players, but, you know, so if you're looking at a card, if you're wondering if it's a Legacy Collection, you will notice that the font is all blue all across the front of it, and then you get that stamp right there that says Legacy Collection, you know, and they move those around based on each card, but would love to see us get one of those. And as you know, these being numbered to 100, that's close to the Row Zero. In that first tier, they're numbered to 250. So, you know, the Penny goes for a little bit more than the Row Zero, but not a ton more. So, you know, a Penny, you're looking at about $200-300. You know, and that's, you know, about where I would expect to see them, even if one came up today. And, you know, and then they go up significantly from there. Tim Duncan being a rookie, the Legacy is a very hot commodity. That's about a $2,000 card last I saw. The Kobe is about a $1,200 card. I've seen a couple of those sell in the last year. And the Jordan, there's actually a row 2 that's for sale right now as I'm filming this with PWCC. So that one, we'll see where that goes, but I would guesstimate it's about a $4,000 card raw. The one that's up for sale is graded, so we'll see where that goes. And the interesting thing is, even though they're all numbered to 100, typically the row 0 legacy cards do sell for a little bit higher. Those are a little bit more sought after because the base ones are also pretty rare. They all get a boost. So getting a row 0 legacy is always fun. If you're looking at one of these commons like the Stoudemire and the Antonio McDyess, you're looking at roughly $10 to $15 card typically. Obviously, player collectors definitely enjoy getting those in their collection, but the common cards just don't demand a whole lot of premium on the market. So hopefully we do see a legacy. Hopefully it's one of my PC guys. I would be floored if I did see one of those. So now the last thing is the only true insert we have possible in this product, and it's not necessarily the biggest crowd pleaser. So it's the Wave of the Future. Here we've got an Austin Crozier. These were 1 in 20 packs. They had all rookies, and the interesting thing with this set is the checklist. That's the most interesting thing here, where the checklist just does not have many good rookies at all. For whatever reason, they decided to not have some of the premium guys from this set, or from this year, and you don't have any Tim Duncan, no Chauncey Billups, no Tracy McGrady, so really the biggest names in this checklist are surprisingly Austin Crozier, like we got here. You got Chris Anstey, who's popular among collectors that like Australian players. God Shamgod, who has that great dribbling move and is now an assistant coach in the NBA. So those are some of the biggest guys. Nobody that's gonna bring in a ton of value. So typically you can find these for about $1 or $2. Sometimes they go for a little bit more. Sometimes people try to hold out for more, but I would not spend more than $1 or $2 on most of these cards. Shipping is typically more valuable than the cards. So the interesting thing here, I've got another, why do I have duplicates of the Austin Crozier? I don't know. But here you can see this kind of has like a shiny metallic gel. So if I'm pushing down in here, you can kind of see some of that stuff moving around. A unique design. That's definitely something you could call this, but I don't know what exactly they were going for. Maybe if they had some more star power in the set, it would be something that would be a little bit more popular and they could have brought in with other cards. But as it sits today, those are kind of oddball cards that, nerds like me that love the 90s love those cards, so I had to get a couple of those in my collection. But that's what we could pull. Obviously, the fire really coming with the Legacy Collection, the Row 0, and big stars of any of these cards. Jordan is definitely what we're looking for. So I'm very excited to bust into these. This is going to be an exciting rip. Let's get right into it. All right, we got a Dale Ellis, Tim Thomas, Chauncey Billups rookie. There we go. We got another row 2. Wow, Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Another one there with Eddie Jones. We got a checklist. Nothing to get too excited about. We got a Ray Allen and Clyde Drexler. All right, last pack. I mean, we're doing phenomenal with that Jordan T-Mac. I don't know what else we can get that can top that, but hopefully there's something in here. All right, Glenn Rice, $1 Million Moments. Tony Batty, Diamond Ink. There we go with Scottie Pippen, very nice. Oh, yes. There we go with a Grace. Not necessarily the best player with Bryant Stith, but definitely a cool one to get there with that row 1. Rasheed Wallace, another checklist. Oh, wow. Another one there with another Grace. That was Barkley. Unbelievable. And the last one here, a base of John Stockton. Wow, I am really happy with how that turned out. I apologize. I got so caught up in the excitement of opening these packs that I've been looking forward to, for years. I haven't opened these in probably 15 years or longer. And it's definitely been longer than that. It's probably closer to 20 years. But, I forgot to hit record on the first 2 packs. And I feel like, as Buddy the Elf would say, a cotton-headed ninny muggins. I don't feel so great right now. I'm really sorry about that. I was, at least we got 2 packs in there. I did, for some reason, think I need to double check the camera and make sure I hit record. And sure enough, like a knucklehead, I didn't. So let's recap a little bit of what we pulled in the first two packs. And really the best thing that we got in all of these packs was in that first pack. And it was unbelievable to me. So the best thing that we got in all four of these packs was this Jordan. This was the style. This is the Row 2. And I was was very excited to get this card. Wish I had that reaction on camera. It was quite something. I remember when I was a kid, my brother in one of those, kind of a makeshift pack that you can get sometimes, like those grab bags or whatever. Our card store owner would make some of those. We loved to get them, and every time that he had a basket that he put them all in, he guaranteed that there was one $10 card in one of the packs in the basket. So when we got them home, sometimes we'd get one, sometimes we wouldn't. And this one day, my brother opened it up and let out this screech that I will never forget. And he had pulled the Jordan Flair Showcase base, the Row 3, and screamed. That was a $10 card that was in that pack, and he could not have been more delighted. And a moment that I'll never forget, and I had a similar moment with this Jordan, the Row 2. Unfortunately, I shared that with myself and myself alone. But these were very good packs. I was very excited. The hardest pull that we had, the best pull that we had based on the odds, was the Charles Barkley, the Grace, the Row 1. These, and again, based on how the tiering goes, this specific one being a showpiece Grace is 1 in 24 packs, so a very hard one to pull when you only have 4 packs to play with. Charles Barkley might not get the most value in the world, but definitely still a relatively valuable card. Really cool looking. I mean, we got 2 Grace cards. The first one wasn't so great, but the second one came in the same pack with Charles Barkley. We got many of the style cards. We got Eddie Jones. We got, this is the Eddie Jones, a gorgeous card. I love this. The Jason Kidd was a beauty. And then one of the other ones that was not on camera that I was extremely excited about was the rookie card of Tracy McGrady. So each of these style cards, 1 and 2 or 1 in 3 packs, but getting as many as we did, we only had 4 packs, and we got 5 of those parallels and then 2 of the other ones. Very exciting stuff. I mean, these cards are just stuff that I absolutely love looking at. Whenever a penny comes up, I'm just so tempted to just buy more and buy more because I love the look of these cards. They never get old to me. Unlike something like Chrome, they never go green. There's no die cuts, which I do love, but this is one of those patterns that it just, for a regular shaped card, it doesn't get much better than this. I know I really love the 97 SPX set. But this one is one of those that is right up there with it. This is one of, if not my favorite looking set. It's really this and the SPX are my 2 favorites. But again, I feel like a knucklehead. That Jordan is one that is not going to get old. I don't know. I'm going to have to take a closer look at this, but pack fresh. I put it right in the penny sleeve. Don't think it's a gem necessarily, but maybe a consideration for grading. Like I said at the beginning, those don't typically, right now, get as much value on the open market as the base, the Row 3, but they're right neck and neck, so that's about a $15 card. Now, if you're looking at an ROI for these packs are very expensive today. Back in the day, you could pick them up in a hobby shop, typically for a little bit less than $10, a little bit more than $5. It depended on where and when, on release day, the prices were a little bit lower. As they got more popular, they tended to go up a little bit. But as a kid, spending more than $2 or $3 on a pack seemed like a luxury item. So now, if you're looking at these packs online, and I have seen them start popping up a little bit more frequently on eBay, you're looking at close to $50 a pack at sometimes. $40 a pack is a little bit of a bargain. Anything less than $40, you're gonna be kidding me. It's a steal. And as you see with these packs, if you get 4 packs and you're spending $50, you're spending $200 on those 4 packs. You're definitely not getting that money back. If you're looking at what we pulled here, you really have to pull one of the fire legacy cards. You need to get a Jordan card that's a Row 1 or a Row 0. You need to get something that is very incredible to pull. So getting your money back out of breaking this product is probably not going to happen. But as you saw, it is a very fun product to break. The boxes are very fun to break. They're gorgeous when you open them. That's why I wanted to share it with you, because I know not many people get that experience with a box like this. These are not easy to come by. They're very expensive. And I was very fortunate as a child to have a father who really enjoyed these cards. So I could talk all day about this set. It's one that I love. But question of the day for you: what is your favorite box opening experience? I know for myself, I had that 97-98 Finest box, which I shared with you. My buddy Joe came up, and we had great results. That was definitely up there. But for me, I have to say, bar none, opening my first box of 97-98 Flair Showcase is definitely my favorite experience. Huddling around the table with my family, but also just the design of the box. I mean, every single detail was poured over by the Flair company for this product release. And the subsequent years are great as well. 96, 97, 97, 98, 98, 99, gorgeous looking sets. I love all of them, but the 97, 98 kind of holds a special part in my heart because that's the first one that I was introduced to, and having that experience with my father was really something fun. So that's my favorite one, but drop down in your comments, what is your favorite box opening experience for whatever reason. Maybe it's what you pulled, maybe it's what you enjoyed while you were there, maybe it's how the cards looked, what have you. Drop that down in the comments. Love to talk to you about that. And as always, thanks for watching this, even though I messed up this time. Hopefully I'll get better. I apologize. This is the second time or third time I think I've done this in the 3 years of this channel, so still getting better every day. But thanks for taking your time watching and enjoying this great hobby. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. And check out the merch shop. I've got one of the polos on today. These are kind of fun to maybe wear out on the golf course during the summer. But the link for that will be down in the description. Thanks. We'll talk later.